go ahead. Roll call.
Mayor Wood?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Lowry?
Here.
Councilmember Feller?
Here.
Councilmember Sanchez? Councilmember Crane?
Here. City Attorney, please.
Thank you. Council meeting closed session to discuss item 1 on the agenda, conference with labor negotiator involving the Oceanside Police Officers Association. Item 2, conference with real estate negotiator involving the property known as the Sunshine Brooks Theater, negotiating parties City of Oceanside and Oceanside Theater Company under negotiations of price and terms for the lease and use of the property.
Adjourn closed session. Thank you.
I don't know if you remember how long it was. I think I said 6 months, and I think Councilman Crane said maybe a year. The reverse diagonal. Reviewing it. No, saying that we would review it at some later time. Because there were a lot of complaints by citizens about this. So.
Yeah, but I haven't done anything here.
Can you speak in your microphone, please, Mr. Crane?
Your mic. Your mic. Oh, you actually want to talk to the mic? Yeah, while you're talking about that. Yeah, I know we did this, but the idea that I haven't had any complaints. I don't know about the rest of my colleagues about the reverse angle parking. It took some getting used to, but the idea that I don't know. I'll leave it to the traffic engineer to kind of tell us what happened on that. Does it really warrant review? Is there a lot of complaints that we have to review it? Or is there something that I think people pretty much accepted it already? David, take it away.
Honorable Mayor, members of the council. I don't recall that we're coming back within 6 months or a year. We'd be absolutely happy to do that if that's what council's desire is. I can tell you that when the project first started, there was concerns about the reverse angle. On that section of Mission Ave, there's probably, I don't know, maybe 18 spaces. So there's plenty of other spaces on the side streets for parallel parking if people were uncomfortable with the reverse angle or backing parking. From what I've heard from the Bike Coalition, they are fully in support of the reverse angle. As far as businesses goes, I have not heard really anything from branded businesses one way or the other. Most of the stuff we have heard on Mission Ave has been very positive from the businesses. So haven't heard any real complaints about the reverse angle, certainly in the last year and a half anyways. But if it's council's desire for Mission Ave, I'd be more than happy to put a study together and look at accident history and maybe do some door-to-door surveys. But
I would definitely like to see that. This was, I thought, more of an experiment because it was the first time for Mission Avenue. That was the one part. Well, I was actually hoping that we'd have a separated bike path as part of that project, and we ended up not doing that. But the reverse diagonal, diagonal was something that some of the stores complained to me about. They ended up losing spaces right in front and ended up having these like planters and things, and they just were really upset about it. And I think we owe it to our community to look into this a bit further if we're going to be expanding this to other parts of our city downtown. So.
Honorable Mayor and members of the council, maybe I could just add to that too, is usually when we do angle parking, it increases the amount of parking spaces versus parallel, and that's the whole idea behind doing angle parking is to increase parking. And on top of that, when we first brought it, was the advantages with the reverse angle with being able to pull out of a parking stall and see bicyclists coming down. When you're exiting a vehicle, you're directing people to the sidewalk, as well as putting goods in the trunk. You're doing it from the sidewalk instead of in the street. So everything we've seen over the years, this is very positive as far as reverse angle parking.
Well, one way or the other, you have to back out or back in. And so it's either when you first come in or when you first, when you get out. You're going to have problems. last week I saw someone trying to back into a spot, and she was taking over 2 spots. So it's a good thing there was not another car there, but definitely it takes some getting used to. And I remember sitting out there when it first got implemented, taking bets on how many people. I mean, that was not just me, but other people were taking bets on who was going to get hit or who was even going to try to back in to one of these spots. So anyway, that would be my concern, and I would ask that just come back to us. Is there a time sensitive? Is this a time sensitive issue at all?
Well, Block 18 is open, and they have been striped for the reverse angle. It's, I think, 5 spots in front of Block 18. There's, I believe, 35 spots in all. The majority of it's coming with Block 19. So it's certainly working down on Cleveland Street, too. It's on Mission. It's on Cleveland just for those, 5 spots. So we could study it.
Thank you. For the council, she has an issue. If you have a motion for this, go forward in a second. If not, deny it. We'll go forward and have traffic cleared out again. Mr. Kern. I just have one quick question. The 5 angle parking spots versus parallel parking, if those were parallel parking spots, how many spaces would there be?
Well, they could be angled. I don't have a problem with the
2.
angle.
So we actually gain parking when we have reverse angle or angled parking. And
I'm not opposed to the angle. It's the reverse.
No, well, I understand, but the idea that it's actually easier than parallel parking, it's the idea. So I guess I move approval on this item. We have Ms. Sanchez. So did you move? Let's go back and address it. And unless there's a second for her concern, it dies without a motion. Is there another motion?
The motion right now is to approve as it is to form on the agenda right now, based on Mr. Kern. I haven't heard a motion prior to that.
And then I guess I'll add to that motion just for Councilmember Sanchez to come back and like 180 days with any report on reverse angle parking. So that way we'll get some.
It didn't mean anything last time, so I guess it's not going to mean a whole lot this time.
Yeah. But I think, the benefits and whatever. Anybody else?
Need a second.
Is that what we're waiting for, the second one? Oh, yes, I second that.
Okay, thank you. Jack, please.
I think there were, when we did the project, there were probably 5 or 6 vacant businesses on Mission Avenue at the time, and now there might be 2. So I don't think the side that we did actually put reverse angle parking on, that's the full side. This council here approved a tattoo parlor. So they filled up a spot that had been empty for quite a while. So I would say it has not affected business. If these people want to be there, they figure out how to reverse angle park. I'm not in favor of coming back with a study unless it's something to do with further reverse angle parking in other parts of maybe if the thought was going up Seagaze or something like that. So at this point I can't support I don't think we need a report on this.
If I may, I'm a little confused. Chuck, you second the motion. Her motion or his?
I didn't make a
There was
motion,
only
Mayor.
I thought he was.
I didn't make a motion.
Clarification. So only Mr. Kern has made a motion. His motion was to approve as well as to include a report by staff after 180 days regarding reverse angle parking. It was seconded by Deputy Mayor Lowry. So it could be modified if necessary, but that's the motion on the floor.
Thank you.
And I'm not going to vote for this just because we're going to review something after it's already out of the barn.
Okay, at this point, let's vote.
Motion approved. 3-2. Sanchez, Feller, no.
Thank you.
Item number 18 is acceptance of the comprehensive annual financial report of the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2016.
Deputy Mayor,
Thank you, Mayor Woods.
she'll come down and answer your
She's
question.
coming on down.
Come on down.
I have a couple of questions about the overall report, and one is, can you tell me a little bit about the pension, how the pension issue fits into the budget? Because I know we're coming up with a new round of pension increased costs, and I'm concerned about how that's going to fit in with the budget that you're going to present to us.
Honorable Deputy Mayor, Mayor, and council members, today we received news that CalPERS had voted on a decrease in the discount rate, which what it means to us in all cities, municipalities, as well as other PERS-related organizations is that they're going to be taking it in a 3-year period from 7.5%, where it is today, to 7%. The first year is 1/8%, second year 8%, and then 0.25. What happens when they decrease the discount rate is our contributions go up. Not only our contributions, but our unfunded liability, which is one of our greatest liabilities that we have here. Right now, for the year ending 2015-16, was $180 million. So that is what we're facing right now. The first phase is in 18-19. So if we're not only looking at the budget, but first we're looking at the forecast to determine with the city manager. I'm working closely to determine what kind of increment, if any, or how we're going to use current operating revenues to cover any PERS increases.
There we go. So currently, we have sufficient funds to cover whatever pension needs we come up with, and we may have to be more judicious in the future as the costs go up.
Right, we're analyzing it right now. Current operating revenues do cover all related costs for personnel, including the PERS. However, as we look into how these new rates apply, we may have some concerns over how operating revenues are going to be covered. And that's something that we are concerned about, but we don't know the answer yet because it is too new.
Okay, thank you. And my second question, since the city treasurer's office has been under a lot of scrutiny in the last couple of months, and because of the election, I've had a lot of questions from residents, constituents, wanting to know about really how does the city know that we have the money, and how do we know that the money isn't being spent on, I don't know, junkets to Las Vegas, and are we routinely being audited within our system and from outside of our system as well?
Yes, we have several levels of oversight. The first level is in our internal controls. Finance, myself, as well as others, we have certain things that we review items that come from Treasury to ensure that there have the proper approvals and backup to make sure all the bond sales and proceeds come into the right place. We have another section over in our cashiering area, or our bank rec area, where they match up everything independently of. And then finally, beyond just our internal audits, we have lots of other agencies that audit. We have our annual audit that is required, and you'll see their opinion in the CAFR. But we have different agencies such as Sandaid comes and looks at us. So our books are looked at from many different angles.
And because our books are looked at routinely, it's not anything special that we have to do, or we don't have to have residents concerned that their money is not being managed appropriately, but you as a department continually manage to make sure that our money is handled correctly.
Yeah, we have not only our investment policy, but many checks and balances in place to ensure that it is. And with the additional oversight of our auditors, I'm confident that funds are being invested properly and accounted for properly.
So the finance department works on its own and the Treasurer's Department has a very small amount of work that's done in relation to what the Finance Department does.
But they have a piece, they work on the total pool of cash per se. And so their job is to make sure that funds are available to make our payments as needed. They have a very important piece, but as far as operationally, they don't take as much time as, let's say, payables or some of the other functions.
Okay. Can you tell me how many staff members are in your department?
I have approximately 34 staff members. That includes all our cashiering and account management.
So all the day-to-day operations that involve money or payments are going through your department?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Thank you for explaining all that. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Jane, are you going to present item 18?
Pardon? Oh, you want me to present item 18?
If you
Move approval.
We need to vote.
Move approval. It's to accept.
we'll just approve it. I want to hear your questions are answered.
There needs to be a motion and a vote.
Okay. Okay. I'll second whoever wants to make the motion.
I did.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. And
No
we
need to
vote. Please vote.
Motion approved 5-0. Item number 19 is approval of a contract change order 1 in the amount of $1,064,201 to American Asphalt South Incorporated for a total contract amount of $1,503,388 for the annual slurry seal fiscal year 2015-16 project, increasing the scope of work to include increased slurry thickness, shallow asphalt patches, and an increased amount of street surfaces to be slurry sealed citywide, and authorization for the city engineer to execute the change order.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. I'm Gabor Pakozdi from the Engineering Division. I'm the project manager for the annual slurry seal project. The item before you is change order 1 for the annual slurry seal project. Staff recommends approval of change order 1 in the amount of $1,064,201 to American Asphalt South for a total contract amount of $1,503,388. This change order allows for increased slurry thickness, shallow digouts and asphalt patches, and an increased amount of street surfaces to be slurry sealed. On April 20th of this year, the City Council approved the plans and specifications for the annual slurry seal project. On June 22nd of this year, change order 1 provides for increased slurry thickness for all streets in the project, 2 coats of slurry on some streets, additional shallow digouts and asphalt patches, and increase the amount of street surfaces to be slurried from 33 lane miles to 77 lane miles. It is staff's recommendation to approve this change order in the amount of $1,064,201 to American Asphalt South for a total contract amount of $1,503,388. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a seat at the sidebar, and we'll go back to council.
No public.
Thank you. Ms. Sanchez?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, it went from like a 500,000 to another million. Yeah. And you feel that, it is kind of unusual to have that large of a increase as a change order.
The reason for that is twofold.
The scope of the work has increased.
We managed to, or negotiated a significantly reduced price with the contractor, reduced compared to the original bid proposal. And with that price, we were confident that it was beneficial for the city to take that opportunity and expand the project to what was available for slurry seal.
So the scope of the work that was increased was more than double then?
Yes.
The scope?
yeah.
Okay. Is this how we usually do things when we decide to change, increase the scope to?
Councilmember Sanchez, honorary councilmembers, yes, this is procedurally how we do it. It is a big swing, however, which is why we put it on discussion, so we could explain it to you.
Great. All right, well, it sounds like staff did its due diligence in increasing, in getting a good deal, and the quality, it sounds like they're also ensuring the good quality. So I'm going to go ahead and move approval. Thank you.
Second.
And a second, Mr. Feller?
Thank you. The note that I made was in your first bid, back in April, was 64% lower than what our city estimate was, and so I think when you look at it in that scope, they hopefully aren't making some sort of mistake in their bidding process, and we're getting a lot better bang for our buck than we estimated.
We are getting a lot better bang for the buck than we estimated. The estimate was heavily, my estimation was heavily reliant upon City of Carlsbad recent contract. And now that we have this deal with the contractor with the reduced price, we found that Carlsbad's similar contract, about $1.5 million, bought them about half the amount of streets. So the source wasn't entirely right, but that was available at the time as far as estimating purposes.
Well, I just want you to know that I'm personally familiar after this election with every one of these streets that's being repaved. So I would just say that I appreciate because I did see plenty of places that need the surface. So I'm glad to approve this. Thanks.
Mr. Kern, please. Maybe a question to the city attorney. The scope and scale of this project seems so much different than the original bid that we wouldn't have to go out and rebid this. I mean, it seems like it's such substantial change that there's. I'm kind of concerned.
I did review that with the Assistant City Attorney, Barbara Hamilton, today, and she is comfortable that the process we've used is lawful.
Okay, because it's just, it just seems like such a big, substantial change. I just want to make sure that we're on firm financial or legal ground here. And if Barbara says it's okay, it's okay. Thank you. Please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Thank you very much. Item 20, please.
Yes, item number 20 is an update on economic development sustainability study.
Leanna, welcome.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and Council members. Deanna Larson, Assistant City Manager. The item, okay, it's not on the screen. There we go. The item before you tonight is an update on the Economic Sustainability Study Dashboard. So 2 years ago, in 2014, the City Council approved the Economic Sustainability Study. It established a dashboard of metrics to be used to measure economic progress. That dashboard included jobs to housing ratio, increasing the transient occupancy tax revenue, monitoring public safety numbers in downtown, increasing office space per capita, benchmarking commercial processing time and striving to increase our processing time, as well as monitoring building permits and planning projects for both commercial and industrial properties. So the Economic Sustainability Study was actually developed in 2013 using 2013 data, but then approved by the Council in 2014. So this is basically a 3-year snapshot of how we're doing. The first metric there, jobs housing balance. We've created nearly 10,000 jobs in the city of Oceanside in the last 3 years. That improves our jobs housing ratio by 0.11, excluding Camp Pendleton. Progress, but we still have a ways to go on increasing jobs in the community. And a significant portion of those jobs have been in the industrial sector, as the city has absorbed almost 1.6 million square feet of industrial space. Next metric that is included in the study was transient occupancy tax. And transient occupancy tax is up over $2 million in the last 3 years, increasing per capita by $12. Additionally, that's primarily due to increasing room rates and increasing occupancy rates, as our tourism economy has been quite strong. We have additional pending hotel projects in the pipeline. There are 2 projects actually currently in plan check. One of them is the Dolphin Hotel, which would be renovating and reopening that as a little boutique hotel, as well as the 1010 Oceanside or Belvedere project, which is a mixed-use project including hotel rooms. Those are both currently in the plan check process, so we hope to see construction happening and those rooms opening in the next year or so. Additionally, we've got a couple more projects fully entitled that we hope to see moving into building permits soon, one of them being the Beach Resort Hotel, a landmark project for us that we are thankful to see some legal barriers out of the way so that can move forward. And then we have a number of projects in the entitlement process. EIR is out there analyzing the environmental impacts, et cetera, so those will be moving forward to council in the coming months and years. All told, they add up to about 1,400 rooms. Of course, it's unlikely that all those rooms will get built, but a substantial portion should get built, and that will be good news for the city on the transient occupancy tax and tourism front. In terms of vacancy rates, our industrial vacancy rate has gone down significantly by over 12%. As I mentioned, the city's absorbed over 1.6 million square feet of industrial space, and that's brought our industrial vacancy rate down to just 2.4%. We do have project Industrial Property Trust that's planning to construct 4 new buildings of almost 400,000 square feet out in the Pacific Coast Business Park, starting construction in 2017. So we'll see some new space, and so that will bring some new business opportunities, new job opportunities on that front. But the areas of greater concern are in both our office vacancy rate and our retail vacancy.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Before I don't, I'll try not to forget Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe out there. We have a few things to go in presentations in a little while, and we will appreciate your tolerance. First off, a couple of things, invocation and pledge of allegiance. Go ahead, Debbie.
Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Tonight's invocation will be given by City Clerk Zach Beck.
Please join me in bowing our heads. Father, we come before you to say thank you. Thank you for the privilege, the blessing, the honor it is to reside here in the city of Oceanside. We come together tonight as a diverse community, a community of different backgrounds, different beliefs, different presence, and different futures, yet one common goal, and that is the betterment of the city. We come together tonight to seek your guidance, wisdom, and discernment during the deliberations that transpire this evening, and in doing so, we lift up Councilmember Feller, Councilmember Kern, Councilmember Sanchez, Deputy Mayor Lowry, and Mayor Wood. May you grant them wisdom and peace as they continue to lead our city into a bright and prosperous future. And in this holiday season, we ask that you continue to bless this community as we celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, and all of the holidays that come forward in these next few weeks. May they be blessed and safe. We say all these things in your precious name. Amen.
Tonight's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Angie Sanchez, aide to Councilmember Esther Sanchez. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. I have some information. Anybody has a Monza, Mayada? Lights are on, I guess. We'll wait till he stands up and starts running toward the door. We'll move up the door.
Next, we have the Employee Service Awards with Alma Sanchez from Human Resources, and all department directors and city council members, please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor Wood, council members, department directors, and audience. It's with great pleasure that we present to you tonight employees who have reached the praiseworthy accomplishment of 20, 25, 30, and 35 years of service. Tonight we are honoring 11 employees who have reached these milestones during the months of August through December 2016. Let's begin with the 20 Years of Service Award. When your name is called, please come forward. Mark Taub. Mark initiated his career with the city of Oceanside on December 15, 1996 as a police officer with the police department. Mark has dedicatedly served his community as a police officer and continues to serve his community in this role. Let's congratulate Mark for 20 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Mark. Next, we have employees with 25 years of service. Jody Colebrook. Jody launched her career with the city of Oceanside on November 17, 1991 as a clerk 2 in the police department. Jody has held various positions within the police department, to include records technician, of which she was selected Technician of the Year in 2015. In addition, in the year 2015, she received an award for Professional Employee of the Fourth Quarter. Jody currently serves as Police Records Supervisor. Let's congratulate Jody for 25 years of service to our community. Thank you, Jody. Next, we have Jeffrey Hart. Jeff began his career with the city of Oceanside on August 29, 1991 as a Mechanic 1. Jeff has held various positions with the fleet department and currently serves as fleet manager. Under Jeff's leadership, fleet maintenance has been recognized in the top 100 best fleets in the country for 10 consecutive years. Let's congratulate Jeff for 25 years of service. Thank you, Jeff. Next, we have William Kogerman. Bill initiated his career with the city of Oceanside on October 27, 1991 as a firefighter paramedic. In his 25 years of service, Bill promoted through the ranks and has held various positions with diverse responsibilities. Bill currently holds the rank of Deputy Fire Chief in charge of administrative services and also serves as Fire Marshal for the city. Let's congratulate Chief Togerman for 25 years of service to our community. Thank you, Chief Togerman. Next, we have Christine Walker. Christine launched her career with the City of Oceanside on December 1st, 1991 as a Public Services Officer in the Police Department. Christine had the opportunity to work in several departments and currently serves as Senior Office Specialist in Development Services, where she provides outstanding customer service to residents and contractors. Let's congratulate Christine for 25 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Christine. Next, we will honor employees with 30 years of service. Sherry Cosby. Sherry commenced her career with the City of Oceanside on October 19, 1986 as a library technician. Sherry has devoted her career to serving the community through library services and programs. She currently serves as library director. Let's congratulate Sherry for 30 years of service to our community. Thank you, Sherry. Next, we have Gabriel Jimenez. Gabe embarked his career with the City of Oceanside on December 28, 1986 as a police officer. Gabe has spent the tenure of his career in public safety and currently serves as police sergeant assigned to police investigations. Let's congratulate Gabe for 30 years of service to our community with a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, my partner for many of those 30 years, Gabe.
Thank you, Gabe. Next, we have Doug Morris. began his career with the City of Oceanside on December 16, 1986 as a building inspector 1. Doug has served in various capacities and currently holds the position of Building Plans Examiner in Development Services. Let's congratulate Doug for 30 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Doug. Next, we have Joseph Nastasi. Joseph initiated his career with the City of Oceanside on November 2nd, 1986 as a maintenance worker 1. Joseph has spent 30 years in water utilities and currently serves as wastewater plant operator 2. Let's congratulate Joseph for 30 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Joseph. Next, we have Kathy Osborne. Kathy commenced her career with the City of Oceanside on November 9th, 1986 as a Clerk 2 in police records. Kathy has worked in various capacities in the police department and currently serves as police records manager. Let's congratulate Kathy for 30 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Kathy. And lastly, we have our 35 years of service recipient. Very good, ma'am. Terry embarked his career with the City of Oceanside on November 30th, 1981 as a supervising recreation leader 1. Terry has spent his career in Parks and Recreation and currently serves as recreation supervisor. He has coordinated large-scale events like Ironman, Race Across America, Turkey Trot, as well as name brands at the Pier Amphitheater. Terry is retiring at the end of the month and will be definitely missed. Let's congratulate Terry for 35 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Terry. That concludes our service awards for tonight. Congratulations once again.
Next, we have the business member spotlight. Would the following individuals please come forward? Scott Ashton, Chamber of Commerce President. Business member spotlight recipient Kathy Kinane, President of Kinane Events. Colleen Soto, Community Outreach Manager for Kinane Events. Gary Nessum, longtime supporter of the Turkey Trot and Kinane Events. And Ann Garrett, spokesperson for the Trot and Move Your Feet Before You Eat Foundation.
Wait a few minutes, let the crowd.
Good evening. My name is Scott Ashton. I'm the CEO of the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce, and we're honored tonight to be able to recognize Kinane Events as our Chamber Member of the Month. We've had the privilege of working with Kathy Kinane and her staff for 10 years now and helping promote their wonderful event, the Oceanside Turkey Trot. Just wanted to share a few facts. The Turkey Trot was created in 2006. The first event had 2,200 runners and walkers. And over the past 11 years, they've hosted 72,000 runners and walkers. So it's pretty amazing. And during that same period of time, they've raised over $270,000 for schools and nonprofits serving our Oceanside residents. So, Kinane Events also founded the Move Your Feet Before You Eat Foundation that works with the Oceanside Boys and Girls Club and North County Schools. And their goal is to help solve the healthcare crisis one step at a time and support local charities that encourage healthy lifestyles. And the foundation's spokesperson, Aaron Garrett, was recently featured in the Wall Street Journal with students from San Luis Rey Elementary School. So that's great, and thank you for bringing such wonderful exposure to Oceanside, all of you.
First off, I'd like to say a lot of things about her. I really appreciate what you've done for Oceanside. Move your feet before you eat. I had to do it, I know. Can't be camera. Anyhow, it's been a real honor, and what you've brought to the city, number one, with the sporting event, and all the money you gave out to the schools, I personally say thank you very much to all of you. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to pass the mic to you.
Well, Mayor Wynn, it's been an honor to serve the city and the nonprofits here in Oceanside, and we're very pleased with the families that have embraced the event and started their day on Thanksgiving and spread the word, actually around the world, about what a beautiful place Oceanside is and a great place to live and work and be active and raise your active family.
So I'm Colleen Soto, and as a teacher with the district, as well as working with the foundation, I appreciate the Turkey Trot from many different angles.
Hello, I'm Ann Garrett, and or as the children at the schools call me, Grandma Ann. And I just have a great time going to the schools and running with the children, and I appreciate Kathy inviting me to be spokesperson, and I love it. Thank you.
I'm Gary Nessum. I'm happy to help the Turkey Trot get started. I'm Kathy's other half. Naturally, I get to work for free for as much as necessary to make sure it goes for these 10 years. But it's been a pleasure, and Oceanside's been a great supporter of the event. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Kathy, and all of your crew.
This time we'd like to call OPD Chief Frank McCoy forward, please.
Honorable Mayor, council members, thank you very much for giving me a brief minute. I just wanted to share with you that our communications manager, Bonnie Stoffer, is doing an awesome job over in our dispatch center. And one of the things that she did is she put out a challenge to the different shifts at dispatch to compete on a gingerbread house making competition. Today was the day that they had to be finished, and now the voting begins as to who has the best gingerbread house. And when I saw those today, I was just, and I shared the pictures with you, it was just remarkable, the creativity and the talent that went into these 4 pieces of art. This particular gingerbread house is obviously a picture of our pier, with rubies at the end. Again, just the detail that's in there. There's I don't know if you remember, we had a shark swing under the pier siding, and there's a couple of sharks that are under there that they put. It's hard to see there, but just the creativity is just amazing. This is another one that they put together. House on the beach. It's, you know, they have people sunbathing. You can't see it in the back there, but even got a little towel on the chair. Just again, just the creativity that they've got fish in the water, all kinds of different fun stuff. And it's kind of like a movie. When you see a movie the second time, you see a lot more things you didn't see the first time. Every time you go back and look at these, you see a lot more detail that you didn't see before. The next one. Is actually a crime scene with the police tape around. As you can see, the little gingerbread man has his arm missing there. And again, it's just very amazing, all of the work and creativity that went into these gingerbread houses. My intent was to bring these gingerbread houses down here to actually have you physically see them and hopefully have you vote on which one that you folks thought was best.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not on the agenda. They can't vote on that.
And thank you for clarifying that, Mr. City Attorney. I'm glad I didn't violate anything. But unfortunately, they're just too fragile to bring down here. So I did the next best thing. I'm showing you pictures, and I'm inviting all of you down to the dispatch center to cast a vote before Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is the final day. And I do invite you down there to take a look at them and to share in our voting experience down there. Again, this is another gingerbread house, Santa's sleigh, just like I say, with little Rice Krispie reindeers. There's just another picture of that. So anyway, I'm sorry to take up your time, but I do appreciate you allowing me to speak. Again, very proud of the dispatchers and all the work that they put in there. If you folks, excuse me, do have an opportunity to go down to the dispatch center and cast your vote for the winner, we would truly appreciate that. Everybody in our department has been going by there to cast their votes, and our communications manager, Bonnie Stoffer, has given a $100 gift certificate to the winner of this contest. So again, thank you for allowing me to share, and again, I hope you see that this was a great event for our employees. I hope you have an opportunity to go down and vote.
Okay, Chief, as long as you're there, can you tell people about last night and the run?
That's what I was going to say. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Last night we had, last night was the 10-year anniversary for the death of Dan Besant. Every year our members of our department, community members, family members, they go out and they do a memorial run for Dan Besant. Last night wasn't any different. We had quite a crowd out there last night. I want to say there had been over 200 people that were there. Probably 80 people that did the run. It was quite an event. We had we were graced with the talk of Dan's dad, Steve. Spoke very vividly about the night that this occurred. It was a very moving experience. A lot of people from our police department, family members. Our fire department was out there. We had Carlsbad Police Department was out there. Carlsbad Fire Department was out there. Again, we had community members out there. We had family members. It was just a great event, and we had majority of the council members there. We truly appreciated your presence there as well. I know it meant a lot to the Besson family.
One more time, if you don't mind. There's a third party that was arrested and being prosecuted now, correct?
There is. Who we feel is the last person that was involved in the shooting of Dan Besson has been arrested and will be going to trial here shortly. Tom Manning, the district attorney, has done a tremendous job. He did a tremendous job during the first two trials that we had on this case. He was just very diligent in making sure that we could get the last person that had some responsibility for this also in custody, and he will be doing the trial in that case as well.
Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you. 28 and 29.
This time, Kathy Nykel may come forward.
Hi, Kathy.
Honorable Mayor, council members, attendees, and viewing public, my name is Kathy Nykel. I'm from Main Street, Oceanside, and several other different organizations, but I'm here to talk about, of course, the holidays. I apologize. I forgot to talk to Scott at the chamber about the weather last Thursday, so we had to cancel it. Since David retired, I took that off my list. However, tomorrow we are still watching the weather, and I've been talking to the sun god all day long saying, please, please, please. So hopefully we will have a market tomorrow. The day market is a rain or shine, but the sunset market is weather dependent. So we do have a market schedule tomorrow and the 29th from 5 to 9 p.m. for sunset market. Day market 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Holiday market, Santa's there from 5 to 7. Lots of great things to shop for. Like I said, why go to the mall? The market has it all, so we hope to see you down there. And of course, we have our holiday season dining guide for the downtown, which is also available on our website. It has been taken out to all the hotels and RV parks. So if you want to know, if you don't want to cook, you're done with it, you want to come and eat in downtown, there's the list. Also, we have, on behalf of Main Street, the Oceanside Elks Lodge, and the Veterans Center, we all want to wish you a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and of course, please say a prayer for those of us who protect us both here and abroad, for public safety and our freedom, our service members overseas, and of course, our public safety here in our own city. The Oceanside Elks Lodge will also have a New Year's Eve dance and dinner on the 31st with the Oceanside Symphonic Orchestra, and Janet Barton will be singing that night, so if you wish to attend, it is open to the public. And other than that, everything's on our website. I hope to see everybody tomorrow. So, until next year, we wish you the best.
See you in the year.
Thank you.
Kathy?
Yes, sir.
I've got a couple of questions. So, that holiday season dining guide is on the Main Street Oceanside website?
Yes, sir.
What's the address for that?
MainStreetOceanside.com.
Okay, so I needed that for myself, so I just wondered. And then, can you tell me the Santa Claus that's going to be there, what time tomorrow?
5 to 7.
Is there an age limit?
There is not an age limit for anybody who wishes to attend, to include your furry friend.
Okay, so I could come down myself and bring my little
I
dog.
take a picture every year, sir.
Okay.
Every year. Have to take a picture. It's Santa.
Yeah. I told her about it. I said, I'll put you in your red sweater, and she's got little white hair, and she just look, like the guy.
That would be awesome.
Thank you.
We'd love to see you there.
Thank you.
Kathy, thank you.
Thank you.
There are no speakers on item number 29. So would you like to move forward to item number 30 then?
No.
Item number 30 is adoption of a resolution ordering the vacation of a portion of Sleeping Indian Road located north of Wilshire Drive and approximately 130 feet south of the city's northerly boundary limit, reserving a public utility easement and directing the city clerk to file a certified copy of the resolution with the county recorder.
Thank you. As mayor, I open this public hearing and ask for disclosures.
Only staff.
Staff. Staff only. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, ordinance, petitions.
All materials been provided to the council.
Thank you.
Honorable Mayor, Councilor, I'm here on behalf of Marianne Wagner.
Didn't think you were Marianne.
Yeah. I'm in touch with Development Services, Assistant Engineer. Staff is recommending the vacation of a portion of right-of-way on Sleeping Indian Road, lying approximately 130 feet southerly of the north boundary of the city and just north of Wilshire Road. A 60-foot wide street and utility easement was dedicated in April 1965, and then again another 60-foot easement was dedicated in 1969, and 1969 easement is where the current location of Sleeping Indian Road is in this location. The portion of the 1965 easement lies outside of the right-of-way of the current alignment of Sleeping Indian Road. It is not currently being used by the public. The only entity at this time that has any usage in that is SDG&E, and there will be a 12-foot wide easement reserved for SDG&E for utility purpose running parallel with the road. Staff recommends that we vacate this portion, being as it is no longer being, never has been and no longer will be used by the city.
Excuse me. We're talking to this gentleman. If you're finished, see the sidebar, okay? Thank you very much.
This is a public hearing item. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this specific item may come forward at this time. Mayor, would I see none?
I see none. I'll close this public hearing and come back to the council. Thank you very much. Ms. Sanchez?
Second.
Thank you. Please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Thank you. Good job. Next one.
Item number 31 is adoption of a resolution.
Excuse me, Bill. Thank you for being here for Marianne. Thank you very much.
Item number 31 is adoption of a resolution adopting the final mitigated negative declaration, associated findings of fact, and the mitigation, monitoring, and reporting program for the city-initiated beach operations facilities and restrooms project, and adoption of a resolution approving a development plan RD16-00002 and a regular coastal permit RRP 16-00002 for sundry improvements to the public facilities within South Amphitheater Plaza and Tyson Street Park, beach operations facilities and restrooms.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll open this public hearing. Request again. Contact
Staff, and we've been discussing this for well over a year. So.
Staff, and I've been by the site numerous times. Thank you.
Staff and all the previous hearings.
Staff and public, and I'm sure everybody on the council's probably been by the site thousands of times.
To see where knee high to grasshopper.
Yeah.
All materials are provided to the council.
Very much. Thank you very much. Welcome. Merry Christmas.
Mayor Wood, members of the CDC, good evening. I'm Russ Cunningham with the city's planning division. I've been assisting project manager Nathan Mertz with entitlement processing, environmental review, coastal commission coordination with this city-initiated project, which constitutes, as you know, a second phase of waterfront improvements that began with the renovation and replacement of several public restrooms on the Strand. The proposed improvements you are considering this evening, slated for South Amphitheater Plaza and Tyson Street Park, have been through several iterations, as already mentioned from the dais. CDC members have had the opportunity to review and comment upon these iterations, which at one time included a two-story beach operations building built partially into the adjacent coastal bluff. The iteration before you this evening reflects the CDC's preference as expressed at a CDC public workshop held on the 26th of August, Elections Building, with interior space dedicated exclusively to municipal operations. Proposed improvements within South Amphitheater Plaza, which is located south of the amphitheater and north of parking lot 30, affectionately known as Betty's Lot, include the following: demolition of existing OPD facilities and beach maintenance storage space in that relatively nondescript building that sits directly behind the Strand. Replacement of existing public stairway descending from the intersection of Mission Avenue and North Pacific Street. It's one of several coastal access points in proximity to our municipal pier. Restoration and adaptive reuse of the Oceanside Comfort Station, where OPD operations area, which is not part of the OPD substation presently, office space for our police officers, our public safety staff, and employee locker rooms. The beach operations building to your right there, immediately to the south, again, single story, a very contemporary design, an abundance of windows, other transparent elements, a combination of finished materials, including cast-in-place concrete, masonry block, and various wood and metal accents. So the comfort station is not presently a designated historic resource, but we have treated it as such with this project. So in accordance with U.S. Secretary of Interior standards and guidelines for historic preservation, the contemporary design of the beach operations building it's very consciously intended to contrast with the traditional architecture of the comfort station. The goal here is to differentiate the old from the new so as not to obscure or overwhelm the historic resource and not to create what the Department of the Interior refers to as a false sense of historic development. The contemporary design of the beach operations building essentially avoids competition between the new building and the comfort station. At the same time, staff and the consultant team have worked to create appropriate visual connections or correlations between the comfort station and the beach operations building in order to achieve a coherent and unified visual theme within South Amphitheater Plaza, and hopefully that's demonstrated here. We think we've achieved that, this sense of unity and coherence in the visual environment through color. You can see the color linkages between these two buildings, common building materials, particularly the storefront glass in both buildings, and the scale. And I think this next picture shows how the scale is very balanced. These buildings are essentially the same height. So here's the site plan for Tyson Street Park. I'll just emphasize that the new building relative to the existing building moves back a little bit more inland, a little further away from the Strand. That should open up the view corridor from Pacific Street and from the stairs leading down into the park. There really are no other changes to the orientation or composition of the park other than enhancement of the hardscape with decorative paving, very similar to what you would see in South Oceanside Plaza. And a quick look at the architecture of this facility, which, like the one in South Amphitheater Plaza, would include 14 private unisex restroom stalls. I think a very notable feature of this building and the other one is the perforated metal grating that sits above those doors and kind of separates the roof from the building walls. That would provide substantial light and air ventilation into that space, along with sunroofs essentially over each of those stalls. That should really save energy. And here's a look at that very same building from the stairs that lead down into the park. So with respect to the proposal's consistency with and conformance to applicable standards, guidelines, policies, staff finds that the project is consistent with all of the relevant policies of the general plan, including those related to community facilities management. We believe it is consistent with all of the policies of the local coastal program, including those that speak to coastal access, coastal view preservation, visitor serving facilities, and public parking. Regarding zoning standards, this is under the purview of the downtown zoning ordinance, being within the downtown area. We find it to be consistent with the land use allowances and the building height limits for Subdistrict 15. I mentioned the federal standards for historic preservation. We think that we've met those standards, those guidelines, both in how we treat the comfort station itself and the context around the comfort station. And then with respect to Coastal Commission guidance related to adaptation to sea level rise, we think the new building is very consistent with that guidance in that it pulls back from the beach essentially an additional 20 feet from where the existing substation and storage space is located. And it would be composed of very resilient materials that could on occasion get wet. They are resilient in that way. So we believe the project results in a better organized, better utilized public space, a safer and more efficient path of travel for pedestrians and vehicles, creating more efficient access and circulation for both, and enhanced visual appeal, of course, and lower maintenance for our hardworking beach operations staff. Regarding fiscal impact, the total cost of improvements in South Amphitheater Plaza are estimated at $6 million. The lift station itself alone is costed out at $1.5 million, and funds have, as I understand it, funds have been secured for that improvement. So the remaining cost for improvements in South Amphitheater Plaza would be roughly $4.5 million. The Tyson Street improvements can be funded. Those improvements would be roughly $1 million. Those improvements can be funded through the city's existing development impact fee regime, the Park Fund. One funding option available for the South Amphitheater Plaza improvements is the refinancing of the Civic Center debt, and as I understand it, sometime after the first of the year, or maybe in the new year, that will be something that you can entertain. And of course, as staff, we will continue to pursue federal and state grants to cover costs for this project. So our recommendation is that you adopt the final mitigated negative declaration for this project, and that you approve the associated development plan and regular coastal permit. And I'm available for your questions.
This is a public hearing item. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this item may come forward at this time.
Mayor, council members, Jimmy Knott, 127 Sherry Lane. I don't know if you noticed, but I did. I did not see pictures or portrayals of seniors or disabled folks in scooters or wheelchairs or with canes, on the stairways, and also with building access. And also there was not a display of benches for resting. Because I have to say, as you get older, and we all get older, those things come to be. And I think that we need to take that into consideration. Thank you.
Any other members of the public wishing to speak on this specific item may come forward this time? Mayor, would I see none?
Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, come back to the council. Deputy Mayor, please.
So I saw the images of the restroom doors, and how are those going to be secured, and how do we have access when they need cleaning? Because we've already had those problems with people moving into the restrooms all throughout the summer and monopolizing them. We couldn't get in to clean them, et cetera. And so I noticed these doors in the images were all solid doors. So does that mean the person can go inside and have a habitat for the night?
No, all the doors in the restrooms will be outfitted with a privacy lock, which can be opened from the outside with a special key. And then there's also a single-sided deadbolt that would secure the bathrooms at night and prevent occupancy of those bathrooms.
And then what about undercutting on the doors, like 6 or 8 inches? Do we have that?
That will be present. That's part of the design, so you can see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then what about the items that Mr. Knott brought up? These are all going to be ADA compliant buildings, I imagine. There's nothing unusual about that.
Absolutely, and the staircase will bring the staircase into compliance because the ADA requirements govern tread and riser heights as well as handrails. Right now the handrails on the present stairs are not in compliance, nor are the tread and risers. So we'll bring that into compliance with a shallower staircase from Pacific Street down to the Strand and the proper handrail.
And I imagine the stair height will be consistent going up and down. Because currently it's like 10 inches, 8 inches, 11 inches. I mean, it's all over the board. If you're walking on it, this will help people who are maybe needing to have some consistency in the staircase.
Yes. In addition to that, we're modifying the accessible parking spaces in the parking lot and bringing them right next to the bathrooms and the pay station, so it'll be better located for those that require those spaces.
Will there be space in the parking lot for people who are driving through and want to drop off their family members, whether or not they're seniors, whether or not they're in wheelchairs, or do people just kind of double park, or what's the plan around that?
At this time, they would have to occupy a parking space to unload and let people off. The egress will not be a designated drop-off area, so to speak, but I'm sure people will
adapt.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ms. Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With respect to the building that you're calling the Comfort
Station.
The Comfort Station, yeah. So you obviously discussed the matter of preservation with the Historic Preservation Committee. Did that include Soho?
No, it did not. It did not. The Office of Historic, I don't think we sent
Save Our Heritage Organization.
Save Our Heritage. I'm not familiar with that, but I didn't actively contact them. Councilmember Sanchez.
Okay. Well, what are the changes specifically that you have? I understand you're approaching this as if it was a dedicated historic building via the federal rules. So what specifically are you doing in terms of changing it to become a substation?
Basically, it's all interior tenant improvements. The exterior will stay the same. We're sourcing the original tile barrel roof tiles to be replacing the ones that aren't original, and minimal exterior modifications. The archways will receive glass instead of now the boarded up look. That allows us to utilize the space. And like I said, a cleanup of the exterior, and the interior space was basically the modification. So the exterior is the most protected part of that building in compliance with those requirements.
Right, it doesn't need any kind of retrofitting or anything like that.
No.
Okay, cool. The stairs, they're going to be widened, and the steps are going to be maybe less, perhaps.
That is correct.
Irregular?
They'll be less high, and the treads will be wider.
Yeah, I was going to say less high. So
yes.
How do you say that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, shorter. Do they extend then into the bluff?
We're actually extending the steps north. So
okay.
we hold the line on the south side, and there's enough room to widen it to the north towards the restroom building.
That probably was something that the Coastal Commission staff was interested in.
They like that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I liked the circulation, the new circulation, that it's not going to go through the plaza as it's in. But as to what you're calling the Palm Grove,
yes,
on here, did you see this as an area that could be leased out for events, like have like a kind of a fair, kind of have posts there and stuff like that?
We evaluated that, so the palms are spaced in a manner that can accommodate, 10 by 10 spaces for pop-up tents.
Right.
So when Supergirl comes into town or Iron Man, the village will work really well within that palm grove. There'll be electrical outlets, secured throughout the area with integrated benches and lighting attached to the palms, down lighting. So the site will be illuminated at night. And the way the spacing is, it allows for an efficient pedestrian movement from the amphitheater to the parking lot. If we had a large-scale event that occupies the amphitheater and the parking lot, people can move through that plaza efficiently. The palms kind of create those walkway corridors. Or if you're occupying the plaza, like I said, the palm trees can be spaced out, and you can rent out those individual spaces. Kind of becomes like a little village in there.
And are you looking at something other than palm trees as well, or?
We're trying to use as much natives as we can.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've been involved with a few projects on the beach, and to grow plants down on that area, it's extremely difficult. It's a harsh environment. We've lost a number of plants or trees at the harbor due to the salt spray, and they just wither and die and get burnt. And unfortunately, to have anything of size and scale, it's the palm is the most resilient species. But the understory stuff, succulents, naturalized, and natives, the small stuff is going to be used as much as we can.
Okay. And you described the lights and other things like that. It sounds like you're considering mature plants?
Yeah,
trees?
we're even good-sized palm trees, probably about 10 feet of ground trunk height. So, there will be distance, where you can't reach the down lights. People that are down there at night can vandalize things. Plus, it provides that scale, that grown-in look.
Will it also have cameras, you think?
We are cabling and running conduits for future cameras. At this time, we won't have any.
Well, I'm really glad that you worked closely with the Coastal Commission staff, so it's a go, and they're the ones that actually decide on conservancy grants. So I'm hoping that they are excited about this project and will be looking in terms of suggesting some funding for this. So was there a motion?
Not yet.
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and move that we adopt the resolution. Is that what it is? Yeah, the resolutions regarding the mitigated neg deck and the adoption of resolutions approving the development plan, making a coastal permit for all the facilities that are being recommended. Thank you.
Second.
Mr. Kern, please.
Thank you. Is one project dependent on the other? Can we build Tyson Street without building the pure amphitheater portion?
Yes, packaging Tyson by itself, so we'll be able to bid that independently from the amphitheater project.
Okay, because I have my doubts about the financing because I think there's other claims or other people looking at the refinancing of this building for funding opportunities for other projects. So I think that might be a struggle to do that. So that's going to have to be something the council's going to have to discuss in the future about what our priorities are as far as spending. But since there's funding available for Tyson Street, after tonight, when could we get started on that?
Immediately. We're moving forward with final design as we speak, with the intent to go out to bid about May of this year, with an intent to start construction in the fall of 2017 at Tyson.
Okay, and we're not using the same contractors last time?
No, they're not allowed to bid here for another 5 years.
Okay. Well, good. It looks like the Tyson Street project is very doable. The other one I really like to get that done too, but that's going to have to be a prioritization of this council when we come to that point about what we do with those funds from the refinancing of this building. So, thank you.
Mr. Feller, please.
Thank you. When I was asking my questions earlier, I forgot to ask, what happens to the storage for the beach vendors?
The storage for the beach vendors, Rubies will be accommodated. Bicycles, we have not located a place for that storage yet, but I know for a fact that Main Street is working with the bicycle vendors, and there's storage on a different option of having it down on the beach as we speak, but we have not located a space for their containers.
Okay, and what about the fellow that has he's the vendor built in right south of Betty's?
I've been told that building is mobile and he will be able to relocate that to another part in the pier area.
The issue of benches came up, and I was curious how the benches that are already in the Palm Court, what happens to them?
The precast picnic tables and benches will be removed. We'll have integrated benches into the site itself, as well as site furnishings to be added once we finish construction. So there'll be ample opportunities for seating and picnicking in that area as well.
But there's people that paid quite a bit of money for some of those benches. Where are they going to be relocated? Or
the memorial benches you're referring to? I'm not sure if we'll find a suitable place for them if there are memorial benches in there. I'm just aware of cast-in-place concrete picnic tables in the area that we're affecting with this project.
There's like 2 or 3 that I know of right in that general area, so I do.
We'll be mindful of that.
Consideration of. And for the building, I don't know why you gave us a look at bricks here, but other than be mindful of graffiti and that type of thing as you select the graffiti or select the brick for the outside of that. And the interesting thing came to mind. So does that mean above Tyson's restrooms, there will be visibility through the roof?
It will be translucent, but it'll be opaque, so you won't be able to see through it. It'll be like a frosted skylight.
So that wouldn't be a place to be when it's raining?
It'll be completely weatherproof as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be makes it like a skylight.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you.
Motion approved, 5-0. Yes, item number 32 is introduction of ordinance repealing Articles 14.4, 35, and 36 of the 1986 zoning ordinance, modifying Articles 15, 16, and adding Article 20, H Harbor District, to the 1992 zoning ordinance, and establishing the amended text for Articles 15, 16C, and 20 of the zoning ordinance and Municipal Code, Chapter 30A, Special Event Permits, as part of the implementation plan of the local coastal program, and adoption of a resolution amending the local coastal program relating to the zoning ordinance and requesting California Coastal Commission certification of said amendment. The subject amendment will 1. Consolidate 1986 zoning ordinance provisions for open space, public utility, and transportation zone and harbor zone within the city's updated zoning ordinance. 2. Certifying Articles 15, 16C, and 20 and Municipal Code Chapter 20A. And 3. Update references to decision-making bodies, city departments, and management staff titles.
Staff?
None.
Staff?
Staff only.
All materials been provided to the council.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. The proposal before you this evening involves zoning amendment 1606 and local coastal plan amendment 1603. I have a very brief presentation for you this evening. This item is part of the phase one, which is an ongoing consolidation of our zoning ordinances. It's the fifth item, the fifth local coastal plan amendment, zoning amendment that has come before you this year. More specifically, this particular item involves the repeal of 3 articles of the 1986 zoning ordinance, Article 14.4, 35, and 36, that pertain to open space, public utility, and transportation in the harbor area. An amendment to the 92 zoning ordinance, Articles 15, 16, an addition of harbor, Article 20, which will establish the harbor district, and also the addition of Municipal Code Chapter 30A as part of the local coastal program, pardon me. The Planning Commission has considered this proposal and has voted unanimously with a 601 vote on November 21st, recommending approval. We have reviewed the amendments with coastal staff, and in fact, it was coastal staff's recommendation.
Thank you. Mr. Kern, please. Thank you. I'll second that. Thank you, but please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Number 33 is the only thing left, Mr. Clerk.
Yes, as well as the council report. So item number 33 is request by Mayor Wood for an annual review of appointments and of council members to boards, commissions, and committees.
I passed out the paperwork prior to this, probably about 10 days ahead of this, making my recommendations. I haven't had really much calls, except I did get a call from Mr. Kern and Ms. Sanchez on a couple of issues, but make a motion that we approve this. Thank you.
Second. No public? No public on this item.
Okay, please vote.
Motion approved, 4-0. Sanchez abstain.
Thank you very much. We covered it all.
Council reports.
Thank you. Council reports.
Mayor Wood.
None at this time. I've done a lot of things through the Christmas holidays. Matter of fact, I've always been going out to a lot of things at Christmas time, and I don't want to eat any more food.
Just cookies?
Just cookies, that's all for me.
Deputy Mayor Lowry.
Well, like the mayor and the rest of the council, I've also attended a number of holiday events, including the Visit Oceanside mixer at the harbor. That was pretty fun. A small group of very happy to be into the middle of the season people were there. That was fun. The Parks and Rec Senior Volunteer Luncheon, a lot of food at that. They had some pretty good videos of the mayor. They were really good. We should be broadcasting those here.
Thank you.
And next week I will be attending the lighting of the menorah here at the City Hall campus at the Civic Center. Lots of free parking in the building. It's going to be Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. and we will celebrate Hanukkah. And that's it. Thank you.
Councilmember Feller.
Thank you. I went to Terry Goodman's retirement party here at the city. It was kind of mixed emotions because I've worked with him since 1989, and he's just a champion for our city. So it was really great. Eileen's crew put on the senior ball out at Melba Bishop Rec Center on the 11th, and I didn't dance, but I sure saw a lot of people that are my age and older dancing and just enjoying the heck out of it. So I'm glad we have that going. Was in the senior volunteer recognition luncheon just long enough for apple pie a la mode. OPD recognition dinner at the senior center was great food by Mimi's, so I think everybody enjoyed that. The 10th annual Dan Bessent run last night, it stirred up a lot of memories from many years ago, so it's a hard thing to really grab. So since the 27th of November, we've had Mariah turn 12, Brandon turned 7 on the 4th, Grace turned 11 on the 10th, my dad turned 94 on the 12th, Leah turned 5 Monday, and Andrew turns 12 on the 27th of December. So that's 6 in that time frame. And by the 9th of January, we'll have Rachel. She'll be 42. Young Ryan, my great-grandson, is 7. TK will be 41, and Matt's going to be 37. So that's 10 birthdays in a matter of like 6 weeks. So every time we get together. Thanks. That's all I have, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. If there was an event with food, I was there. I got to the point that I probably should have just carried my own knife and fork with me wherever I went, because it seemed like I just went from one event to the next eating. So actually, the night of the OPD recognition, I left there to go to the Cherville Foundation Christmas party, so I got to eat twice. So the idea that it just seems like one after the other. Hopefully, that'll taper off after the first of the year, and I can lose the 5 or 6 pounds that I've gained over the last month. So, I'm going out to the wilderness for the next week and a half. So it'll be nice. I probably pretty slim pickings out there. So, other than that, the only one that I think is serious was last night. Was really a good event for the run. The chief kind of hit all the high points of it, but it really was very well attended. I would probably say about 200 people were there, and the news channel showed up, and so I think I couldn't count the runners, but I would probably say there was 50 or 60 runners. More than that. Why did you run? Yeah. Jack kind of came in right when the runners were coming in. So the Rosie Louise of Oceanside is Jack Feller. So anyway, I'd like to wish everybody a safe and happy Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you in the next year. Thank you.
Member Sanchez.
Thank you. And in our family, CJ turned 7, magic number, on December 2nd. So that close to Christmas, it's like, Project Reach and Eastside Neighborhood Association had their annual holiday party, and it was great to see the kids. They did a play. It was a very interesting play. That was very nice. The American GI Forum is hosting a New Year's Eve party on New Year's Eve at the Vance, at the Veterans Association of North County building. So for those who would like to, they're going to have a DJ, so they promise to have some very, very good dancing music. And I think it's only $20 each, the tickets. So, and beyond that, from our family to yours, I hope you have a very happy, merry holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, and other celebrations, and especially a New Year, happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Nothing else needed.
I have one other thing. Many of you don't know, may or may not know Harold Moore, but he passed away 2 days ago. And that is, he was pretty much one of the old timers in town, and had been around for an awful lot of years, probably at least close to 50, 55 years, something like that. So they keep falling by the wayside. Thank you.
First off, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Be safe out there for the holiday season. I want to personally thank every time we have an officer in the chambers for our council meetings. We'll have one tonight. We usually have one every time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate. I always feel safe that you guys are here, and I want to thank you all. Very appreciate that. Other than that, thank you very much, and I'll adjourn this meeting to Wednesday, January the 4th, 2017 at 2:30 at this location. Be safe. Thank you.